I'll just leave this right here. Kamala Harris will send your children to war. Stop wars. Vote for Trump and Vance. Well, how's that one? I have never seen a US president that was so weak and scared about taking military action that he needed his yes-man entourage to keep him company at the podium in the Cross Hall. Sadly relevant. America just needs a mum to be like, "Oh, a new war? You got new war money? You never even finished the last two. We have plenty of war at home." Plenty of war at home indeed. I really wish this wasn't so literal. And they're only going to escalate once the anti-war protests start happening. Unfortunately, the statement kind of misses the mark immediately. Not only do we have new war money, we specifically have a reservoir of weapon systems that would make Ares weep. Well, yeah, but at what cost? The Grade B-2 pilots have just landed safely in Missouri. Thank you for a job well done. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. If Joe Biden had misspelled his own name in a tweet, Fox would be calling for his removal and running it on a loop 24/7. The deep state has replaced him. I don't know where Donald Trump is, but we certainly didn't vote for this Donald Trump guy. Reality is more absurd than parody. Well, yeah, Trump didn't declare war. He just dropped some bombs, then called for peace. Well, yeah, because it's entirely realistic for a regime to expect another regime to just bow down when they bomb some of their most important facilities. Of course they will. Trump announced a truce, which was so successful, all for about half an hour until they started bombing each other again. Trump announces attack on Iran, no congressional approval, at the hands of self-proclaimed anti-war president. Every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fired signifies in the final sense a theft from those who hunger and are not fed, those who are cold and are not clothed. Dwight D. Eisenhower, 1953. Should we not have been being absolutely terrified up to this point? 'Cause as we enter war with Iran, you should be absolutely terrified that 31 of the key people protecting the United States were Fox News employees less than a year ago. Wait till people work out he is provoking all these conflicts around the world, so come election time he can call a state of emergency and hold off the election indefinitely. It's like they wrote a giant plan detailing it all. But I wonder what it was called again. The Netanyahu maneuver. From the land of the free to the Holy Land. Felons of a feather destroy the world together. Historically, when Americans suddenly care about women's rights in a Middle Eastern country, those women are about to get bombed. It's called manufacturing consent. The rules are, suddenly care about LGBTQ+ rights, carte blanche to bomb Palestine. Suddenly care about women's rights, is a carte blanche to bomb the Middle East. You may call these rules stupid, but they have an 100% success rate. And makes sense why we can't care about those things in our country. We would have to bomb ourselves. Iranians don't like their government. They were a thriving nation before the Ayatollah was put as a supreme leader. People got locked up for dissent. Own civilians were severely tortured because they thought they were a part of a resistance. Women forced to wear hijabs. That being said though, I don't think they like being bombed. If only the USA and UK hadn't installed a dictator there and kept the democratically elected leader in power. Imagine what could have been. Oh well, they were gonna nationalize the oil, so it couldn't be helped. But the elected leader had socialist tendencies. They had to be overthrown for an absolutist theological dictatorship. You know, for freedom. Attacking Iran fits with Trump's desire to divert attention from his failures at home. Like what he said Obama would do. His losses in the courts, his unpopular budget bill, millions of people protesting against his authoritarianism. When he feels humiliated, he gets reckless. Understand what's going on. Well, shit, that's what happens when you elect a poopy diaper president as president. Hey chan, if you guys enjoy what I do and want to support this gay guy reading stuff, you should totally like and subscribe, and share the video. Anyway, back to it. Oh, what a loser she is. No one should be afraid or uncomfortable to say that homosexuality is bad. Well, you lost to a 7-year-old. Opinion discarded. I lost to a trans woman, it's not fair. Came 34th, behind literal children. A transphobe turned out to be a homophobe too? No way, I'm so shocked. Who could have seen that coming? It's the only way these people know how to deal with being so mediocre after growing up being told how special and individual they are. They're special. They're the amazing ones. So clearly everyone else is the problem here. It's like you can always ask these people, did your parents hug you too much or not enough that caused you to turn out so shitty? It's always along those lines. As a former high school teacher, one of my more poignant exchanges was with one of my sophomore students I also saw in-school suspension on a regular basis for various reasons. The supervising teacher wasn't supposed to talk to the students, but if I knew the students, I would help them with their schoolwork and talk. This student was a gifted student, but one day he said, "Yeah, I think I was gifted, but I have just kind of wasted that potential, and now I'm just a normal guy who people expect to be smart." MAGA has never had the epiphany that this sophomore in high school had. Why are millennials so left-leaning compared to every other generation? I don't know, dude. Maybe it's because every single formative event in our lives has been a disaster directly caused by capitalism and American imperialism, but nah, it's probably just the computer games, right? 31 years old here, and almost every single catastrophe in the US in my lifetime has been a direct result of right-wing politics and or late-stage capitalism. Oh wait, yeah, they're just the same thing, aren't they? Economic crashes, wars, bungling a pandemic when it hit our country, massive national debt increases, Republican presidents have a really bad track record in our lifetime. And that's just the presidents. When you dig deeper and look at all the bills Republicans propose and which ones they shut down, it becomes really clear that they want to screw over the working class and make the hyper-rich even richer. All of that with some bigotry sprinkled in. How it started? Just in. President Trump's administration tells allies it will not get involved in the war against Iran unless Iran attacks Americans. Good, not our war. And how that went. I stand with Trump. I trust Trump. He made the right call. No matter what happens, these people never lose, and it's always the fault of the others. That's the narcissist way. Florida rep Kat Cammack, Republican, claims her pregnancy ER visit was near fatal. Oh, and blames it on fear-mongering from the left. A month into Florida's 6-week abortion ban, Rep Kat Cammack says she struggled to get ER care for an apoptic pregnancy, and blames the left. This shows how dangerous Republicans are. They allowed themselves to become so brainwashed, they are literally threats to our rights, liberties, and freedoms. I don't think she's brainwashed. I think she's lying and trying to manipulate the voters of her district. Well, that point still stands. The voters are brainwashed if they believe any of it. They don't need to truly believe it. It doesn't matter what they say is nonsensical. Their goal is to ruin or end the lives of people they hate. They don't have to make sense with that. It's Sartre's anti-Semitism lie all over again. At some point, Republicans are gonna have to learn what the Department of Energy does, right? Like, they have to learn at some point that it runs nuclear reactors and doesn't operate oil fields or whatever. To the Department of Energy, drill baby drill, and I mean now. Everyone, keep oil prices down. I'm watching. You're playing right into the hands of the enemy. Don't do it. So Trump's current political policy for keeping oil prices down is asking people to keep them down. What a powerful leader, guys. Republicans are gonna learn. Okay, wait. Let me stop you right there. Well, now in our over 5 months of dealing with that bullshit, I don't think most of them are gonna learn. If the inbreds could read, they'd be super offended. Learning? You some sort of commie Marxist liberal. I like to be whatever scares them the most. I believe that would be transgender. MAGA's irrational fear for the LGBTQ+ community needs to be studied. New York City is not okay. Okay, Jessica Ramos basically admitted to Brian Lehrer that she thinks Trump will punish and single out New York if Mamdani wins, and that's her justification for backing Cuomo. First off, stop making decisions based on fear. Secondly, stop giving that man more power by rewarding his racism with cowardice, for fuck's sake. If you don't use your rights because you're afraid you'll be punished, then you've already lost them. Never comply in advance, for fuck's sake. Senator Elizabeth Warren, a co-sponsor of the No War with Iran Act, embasted Senate Republicans, quipping, "They've all had their spines removed. None of them seem capable with standing up to Donald Trump, which means they cannot fulfill their oaths to the Constitution." AIPAC demands Democrats stand with Israel. The pro-Israel lobbying group has sent a flurry of communications to members of Congress. But third parties demanding that politicians need to have a specific view on something, regardless of the issue by the way, is incredibly concerning. All for what? Because they threw money at the politician? Can we please just make fucking financial lobbying on behalf of foreign governments illegal? The whole idea is that money equals free speech is ridiculous and just invites corruption. I don't care if it's Israel or Portugal. Just try to think of a non-threatening country. The people who are in charge of making stuff illegal are the ones receiving this money. It's never gonna happen. I think let's go even a step further. I think lobbying as a whole should be made illegal. If you can't fundraise without taking money from huge political groups who are gonna demand you have a certain view on something, I don't think you should be running at all. Peace through absolute stupidity. Rep. Keith South threatens to bomb downtown Tehran if Iran retaliates and says, "The US will demonstrate peace through strength. We did that." Oh my god, yeah, because we just bombed them a bunch of times and then just expected them not to do anything back. And then claimed that there is a truce, and then the truce didn't work. So, this peace through strength thing is working so well, girly pop. I sure would love to see all the Democrats in Congress on the Capitol steps calling for impeachment in one voice. But I know we can't do it without Republican votes. But it sure would be nice to see a loud, unified message. I'll be calling my reps today and asking them to please do this. Join me. Oh, surprise, surprise, maggots are not very smart? Didn't see this coming, and I don't think you did either. We must help Ukraine. No, war is bad. We must fight Iran. Yes, war is good. Well, apparently the locals in Venice aren't too happy about the Bezos wedding there this week. If you can rent Venice for your wedding, you can pay more tax. He's renting Venice? Yeah, I think that motherfucker should be paying a little bit more tax. Anyone who's saying that the US isn't an oligarchy is obviously fucking lying with this one. There's always a tweet. Remember that I predicted a long time ago that President Obama will attack Iran because of his inability to negotiate properly, not skilled. Oh, because of course he wouldn't be able to negotiate a deal better than your 36-minute long truce. Oh, politicians wish they were you, Trump. Well, he's right. America is riddled with Al-Qaeda and ex-T and Taliban domestic terrorists, standing back and standing by. Oh look, it's a tweet from Charlie Smilesweird. Stay armed, stay vigilant. We have no idea how many sleeper cells are inside the United States. It's an unforgivable weakness Biden left this country with. Stay alert and pray. So, to combat Biden's weakness, we hired a 22-year-old counter-terror chief with zero experience, and a Fox personality with no experience to lead the Department of Defense. Sean Duffy is also a TV personality, Secretary of Transportation. See, the Constitution is very clear. No war shall be declared except through an announcement on Truth Social a few minutes after an attack. This is not what I voted for. Yes, Evan, it is. Ooh, I wonder, how did that work out for you with the candidate you chose? I bet it was Trump, and I bet it went really well for you, didn't it? Can someone please explain to me what exactly is that young men want to hear from VP Harris that she's not already saying? And please, be specific. I want to hear exactly what you'd have her say to them. I'm not gonna send you to die in another pointless fucking war in the Middle East. Specific enough? Well, I mean, Trump did say that they were leading us to the brink of World War III because Iran launched a missile attack on Israel, and that would never happen in his... Oh. GOP congressman, everyone. Trump making his little tweet about whatever. Thomas Massey saying this is not constitutional. And, I really wonder if Trump had a massive hissy fit on social media because of this. Oh, wait, never mind. As much as I despise Thomas Massey, I find it ironic that MAGA is turning on him for wanting to uphold Trump's campaign promises. Oh, and there's the massive paragraph. Anyway, besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great day. Also, you should totally subscribe and share the video.